tackle at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win it! They win it!
Back live to the Compaq Center. Mike Tirico, Bill Walton, Tom Tolbert, Michelle Tafoya, Sal Masakela. Two smoking hot teams. The Rockets have won 7 of their last 9. The Lakers 5 in a row. And Shaquille O'Neal's team has won 7 of its last 8. As Shaq, Yao Ming and company go, and Shaq and Yao meet and greet with a little hug at center court. Here are the starting lineups. Rick Fox, Samaki Walker, Shaquille O'Neal up front, Kobe Bryant, and Derek Fisher the backcourt for the Lakers. Eddie Griffin jumps center most nights for the Rockets to go with Posey, Ming, Cuttino Mobley, and Steve Francis up front. It will be Griffin jumping center here tonight.
Yao Ming doesn't jump center. He's 7'6".
The players did it on their own about 4 or 5 games ago. Rudy T looked out, and he was surprised to see Eddie Griffin with the long arms going up to jump center.
The story I got was that they don't feel that the referees throw the ball high enough for Yao Ming. Yao Ming is stepping in right now. You can't miss this photo opportunity.
And hundreds of flash bulbs, amateur and professional, go off. 22 national writers, 8 international writers. They're watching live in Shanghai at 10:30 in the morning as O'Neal goes right at Ming, goes to the net. No foul called, and here come the Rockets.
In transition, Yao Ming wide open. Samaki Walker, good job slowing down the big man.
Yao, first touch. First shoot. Compaq Center on its feet.
Boy, you already decided he scored a fourth quarter bucket in the Game 7 of the finals.
Ming officially credited with a block on the defensive end, so a block and a hoop. Kobe Bryant to Derek Fisher between his legs. One thing about the big game atmosphere, the Lakers see this about every night that they play. They're always the biggest show in town. Kobe, a 3. Remember, he had an NBA record 12 against Seattle just a week and a half ago.
Well, he's going to beat you from out there. It's one of those things, you let him start out there. Aside from that 12 for 18 game against Seattle, the other 4 games in the last 5, he's only been 3 for 13. So you want to make Kobe beat you from beyond the arc.
Cuttino Mobley coming off a season-high 30, but 4 of 13 in the first meeting between these two teams. When Shaq did not play, Yao went 9 of 9 from the field, and the Lakers lost at home to Houston 93-89. That was back on November the 17th.
Do those games really count?
Well, I'll tell you what counts. Kobe feeling it early. 2 3-pointers for Bryant, and he's letting Mobley know it all the way back down the court.
Now you're in trouble. Now you're in trouble against those.
Griffin feeds Ming. Second field goal attempt. In and out. Kobe on the board.
Shaq on the move in transition, trying to get that deep low post position, a la Moses Malone sitting courtside.
So many big names and big fellas in the building. Ming, the second block on O'Neal.
Shaq's going to have to go to his jump hook in transition.
Yao on the other end.
Not only to be able to block the shot, but to be able to beat Shaq all the way down to the other end of the court and get an easy bucket in transition.
Shaq moves it around. Francis closed down on Fox, who drives. And Rick Fox, averaging just under 10 a game, gets his first field goal of the evening.
Yao Ming's defense away from the ball. The best I've seen on Shaquille since the days of Akeem Olajuwon. Preparation, knees flex.
Attempt 3, make 2.
He's calling for the ball. He's just going right at the league's most valuable player.
Attempt 4, make 3, I meant to say. Yao has all 6 of the Rocket points.
This is a stunning start.
O'Neal looking for it. Up strong with help. Loses the handle. Frustrating offensive end for Shaq so far. Mobley a transition triple. Rimmed out. The second-year man, Griffin. All square at 8.
And that's what Griffin needs to give them for the Rockets to be successful. He doesn't have to score a lot. Pick up some garbage on transition and make sure you get rebounds both offensively and defensively.
Ming officially got a block last trip, Tom. That's now 3. Bryant got the defense to commit. Kick out to Fox, who knocks down a 3. Why are the Lakers 15 and 11 since Shaq has come back? The confidence of the other players, the complementary roles are being filled again.
Well, the shooting percentage before Shaq comes back, 38%. Since Shaq's been back, up to 44%. He just makes everybody's job easier.
At Meantime, Ming puts up the air ball against O'Neal defensively.
Well, Ming might have about 39 shot attempts by the end of this game.
I like it.
Fox to the line.
Somebody has to go right at Shaq if you're ever going to beat the Lakers. You can't run away from them.
Two big men laid up the floor. Mobley on the tape with no interior defensive presence.
Phil Jackson wants to control the tempo, slow it down. They got to keep the youthful athleticism of the Rockets under wraps, and they have to keep the Houston Rockets off the free throw line.
Eric Fisher with a quick trigger. And the rebound comes down to James Posey, acquired from Denver in a trade last month.
It's going to be interesting to see how long Shaq can go at this pace, because it's really challenging him up and down the court.
Fox fouls Francis.
How long can Yao Ming go at this pace as well?
This is true. But we're talking about the defense right here. Shaq, first play, is going to take it right at him. 7-6. No, that's not. I don't think Shaq's ever had that double clutch before when he goes up over somebody. Right here, gets caught a little bit behind the backboard, and he's just so big.
Nobody of Yao Ming's size has ever been a real basketball player before. Yao Ming would be a fine basketball player at 6'5".
Yeah.
What Shaq's going to need to do in this situation, though, playing against a bigger man, is utilize the skills that Akeem Olajuwon used against Shaq, that Moses Malone used against Kareem. Get him on the move, and then come back with a jump hook.
Francis makes both free throws after the Fox foul. Early, all Yao.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, when Shaq does get that first dunk, after being blocked 3 times, he's going to yank that basket right off its hinges.
The disappointing thing for the Lakers is that Yao Ming has 0 fouls.
Here's O'Neal going right at Ming. Griffin came over to the block. Griffin's a good shot blocker as well. He's 11th in the league at 2.1 a game. Francis fires. And hot shooting start for Houston. Rudy T's team 6 of 10 here in the first 5 minutes. A double Shaq and Fox shoots.
This is an unbelievable beginning. Who would have ever thought that this would have been the scenario that played out in the first 6 minutes?
Eddie Griffin tried to use the window on Samaki Walker and Bryant, who hit 2 threes a couple of moments ago. Tries a third. Better defense by Cuttino Mobley that time.
What a tip rebound by Yao Ming, who seems to be sucking a bit of wind.
LA has already taken 7 3-pointers out of its 11 field goal attempts, and they've hit 3 of them.
The presence of Yao Ming. Deny the big man.
Francis off the Ming screen. A lot of smiles for Rudy T these days. He is having so much fun with a young team. The starters are a 20-year-old, a 22-year-old, 2 25-year-olds. And the oldest starter, Cuttino Mobley, at 27. There's Shaq inside, as called for, Tom. He threw it down.
Houston, the 2nd youngest team in the NBA. Right now, though, the Houston Rockets have put some seeds of doubt in the basketball world with their opening performance.
Quite a start in Texas. Rockets 5-4. Back at the Compaq Center, Rockets lead by 4. We're double-teamed on the sideline tonight. Let's start with Michelle Tafoya covering the Rockets. Michelle?
All right, Mike. Well, I spoke to Rudy Tomjanovich about the intense spotlight that Yao Ming has been under all season, and he said, I don't know how he does it. I haven't seen anyone go through what he's gone through, and it's a miracle that he's come in here and done what he's done. He also told me that it took Yao just a week to adjust to the NBA's defenses. Rudy thought it would take him all season. According to Tomjanovich, Yao has been phenomenal. Now over to Sal Masekela.
Well, one thing to remember in the midst of all this Shaq Yao hype is that the Lakers, while they have been on a 5-game winning streak, are 5-14 on the road. This game means a lot, not just for them to get to 500, but to get that road record back in check. I did talk to Phil Jackson. He said, compared to a month ago, this team is finally focused mentally on basketball. We'll see how it goes down tonight.
Sal, good point about the road losses. Lakers do come off a road victory over New Orleans by 8. However, 17 is the most road losses that a Phil Jackson Laker team has suffered in a season. Second foul of the game that's coming up on LA.
But the Lakers have not beaten a good team on the road. And that includes New Orleans. Right now, they're playing terrible basketball. They beat Denver, Memphis when Memphis was horrendous. They beat Toronto. They beat the Clippers. Clippers can't win a ball game. That game,
That's a home game for them.
not quite sure if you count that as a road game.
They're in their own locker room. Fox came out with his second personal foul. Devin George in. Robert Horry also in as well.
But the fact that Shaq had his first 4 shot attempts blocked. When does that ever happen?
I don't know if he's ever played a game where he's had 4 shots blocked.
Ming from the outside misfires, and Griffin tried to climb for the rebound, but didn't get it.
Now, Shaq hasn't hit the rim yet. 4 shots blocked, 1 dunk.
And there Shaq ran the floor, got the early position, and Yao picks up his first personal foul.
Well, he is the best ever, or at least that I've watched in my 25 years in the NBA, getting position on the break. He gets down there and he plants himself right in the middle, and he's so big, you just can't do anything but bear hug him at that point.
Wilt was pretty good.
Well, I mean, you'd watch Micah when you were little.
Shaq, little jump hook that time over Ming.
The man doesn't like the rim. He's still going no rim.
But Shaq is realizing that now it's become a game of skill. He's been able to overpower virtually every opponent he's faced since Akeem Olajuwon retired and David Robinson is slowed down.
Steve Francis on the miss. Francis had a stretch where he scored 7 consecutive points for Houston. So George and Horry in off the Laker bench. Mobley thought he got all ball, but he got a piece of Kobe. And Bryant has picked up his first person, or rather, Mobley is first.
The Kobe Bryant Steve Francis matchup is everything we thought it would be. Kobe with 6 points and a couple of assists already, and then Steve Francis 7 points, including the long 3 that gave him such great momentum to go along with Francis's 3 assists.
Well, this team's looked so much better offensively the last week than they did when we saw them early against Dallas, and then they just looked stagnant and had a hard time getting off good shots. And the last week, you can say, yeah, they've beaten Miami and they've beaten some bad teams, but they've thumped those bad teams, and that's what good teams do. They don't beat bad teams, they destroy bad teams.
In this 5-game winning streak, Lakers have taken care of the Suns, Sonics. That was the game that Kobe had the 12 threes. And then Bryant came back with a triple-double for Phil Jackson against Cleveland. Victory over Miami in the aforementioned win in New Orleans on Wednesday. The team stayed in Louisiana Wednesday night. Ming cut to the basket. Couldn't get the handle.
There you go. Get on the ground.
Griffin took the worst of that shot from Fisher, shaken up behind the play. It's 5-on-4 for the moment for the Lakers.
They're trying to take a foul here, but they can't get to the ball.
Fisher missed the 3. George pulled down the rebound. Still 5-on-4.
Yao Ming should not foul here.
Griffin still down behind the play.
That's some good defense right here.
Devin George from the outside missed. O'Neal goes up to get it. Back to Fisher. They are looking at Griffin on the other end as finally the basket goes. Griffin took that shot right on the shoulder.
That's the best offensive set they could get for the Lakers against 4 defenders with 1 guy for Houston lying face down.
It's a full timeout.
Oof. In the side of the head with the recoil of the full force of Derek Fisher, smallest player on the floor at 6'1", 205, but coming at full speed, got him right in the head. And the full medical staff out there and concerned about Eddie Griffin. Timeout Houston. Be right back. Back live at the Compaq Center. Good news, Eddie Griffin rolled over onto his back, then sat up on his own, certainly groggy as he took that shot from Derek Fisher chasing the loose ball on the floor. Griffin able to be assisted on his feet over to the Houston bench. Another couple of looks at him. Certainly nothing malicious, but as Fisher's rear end whipped around to get to the ball, this is the best angle of the recoil and the whiplash on the head and neck area of Eddie Griffin.
We've seen this so many times from Derek Fisher, who's just so tough. One of the Lakers who will consistently go to the ground and put his body in harm's way. And over the years, virtually everybody who's gone head-to-head with Derek Fisher in those collisions comes out on the short end. Maurice Taylor now in. Maurice Taylor been out for a while with the Achilles tendon, and Yao Ming is really rubbing that hand, which always a problem when you play against Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, during the timeout as well, they were looking at Yao Ming's left hand. It looks like the index finger on that left hand, and then strengthening, trying to close it. So the trainers, medical staff, and team physicians for the Rockets extraordinarily busy during that timeout. Fisher's quick hands take it away from Steve Francis.
Careless turnovers for Houston.
Griffin is right back at the scorer's table, so surprisingly, he's going to check right back into this game. Here's Robert Horry, who won 2 rings with the Houston Rockets in the back-to-back title years for Houston.
Horry is coming off a magnificent performance Wednesday night in New Orleans. Did it all. His game is coming alive. The easier, softer schedule has really helped him physically.
Lakers have scored the last 10. Taylor tried to go to the goal. Get the pass back to Francis. Get it blocked. Michelle, update the injury.
Yeah, well, according to Keith Jones, their athletic trainer, he strained his back in that collision. They did have him tilt his head side to side, back and forth, every which way they can, but they've determined it's a strained back. And as you can see, he's back into the game, Mike.
Okay, Michelle, there's Keith Jones, the athletic trainer for the Houston Rockets. 3 to shoot on the Horry block. And they go right towards Ming, who had to take it away, but he was fouled and held by Fisher.
I am so impressed, even inspired by the fact that Yao Ming is so assertive on the offensive end as the Hall of Famers, the legends, Akeem Olajuwon on your left, Moses Malone on the right. World champions, MVPs galore.
You're not coming back, are you?
I wish they would come back.
Mobley, tough shot, struggling against the field. Ming used only the right hand on that pass and kind of kept the left out of it a bit. Fisher takes it all the way, beat Ming down the floor for the deuce.
And what a great job of, once he got by Yao, he slowed up. So he had room to operate. He didn't let Yao get to the ball. That was a great job by Derek Fisher that time.
If you're Yao Ming, never foul anybody but Shaq in this game. Let everybody else go. Your job is to play Shaq.
Lakers a chance to extend this 12-0 run. Bryant in the corner. Beats O'Neal, who could not finish, but was fouled.
I'd give him a half a point just for the sound on that one. Well, that was violent.
This is what we have not seen from Shaq since the return from the injury. The end of last season, Shaq had never played better. Games 5, 6, and 7 against Sacramento, the sweep against New Jersey. But the weapon he has in that lob pass, the weapon he has with the jump hook, the weapon on the offensive rebound when other people are shooting, those have not been there. They've been slow to come back since the toe injury.
Ming sits with 6 points and 3 blocks in 10 minutes. I'm sure they're going to take another peek at that hand. He was not using it at all offensively on that last trip. Kelvin Cato comes in, 6'11", 6th-year man out of Iowa State, as O'Neal knocks down the free throw.
Yao took 6 shots. He averages 8 shots per game. He took 6 shots in the first 9 minutes of this game. That's tremendous.
Lakers controlling it, leading by 7. Francis and Mobley have gone cold here the last 7 minutes, and Fisher on the push.
Lakers defense, the league's best for years.
And getting back to its old form, Bill, with the presence of 34 in the middle. Devin George from the outside, over Posey.
2 minutes,
knocks it down.
Who were we watching a month ago? That certainly wasn't the Lakers we were watching a month ago. This is a completely different team. Everybody confident, getting to the boards, scrambling on defense, hitting open shots.
Griffin back in the game, very comfortable from the outside, but obviously not ready to take that shot. A 15-0 LA run, nothing coming easy for Houston. Griffin couldn't get off his feet to his normal elevation for that pass. Here's Bryant on the move. Finds Shaq, and look out!
Tremendous response by the world champions.
With a look over here to Akeem and Malone on the way by, and all Dream could do was laugh back at Shaq.
Now watching Shaq do that, that makes Akeem glad he's sitting in the suit over there.
Foul on the outside on Fisher. That will be his second.
I disagree. Akeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone never back down from anyone.
Oh, from this you do. From 350 going full speed, you get out of the way.
They found a way.
Yeah, they would have found a way to get out of the way in that situation. No one's going to be dumb enough to stand in the way of 350 coming downhill for the dunk. You just save yourself, save hospital bills, get out of the way, get back on defense.
Houston jumped out to a big early advantage in momentum. It was small on the scoreboard, but it's been erased by this 17-0 Laker run.
Their set offense has become horrific.
Francis the lob for Kelvin Cato.
Early on, it was Houston's transition game. They had the edge in fast break points, 6-0. Since then, 0 fast break, and the set offense has completely broke down. That's what Phil Jackson wants. Houston to have to play the half-court game.
Play stopped as the 24-second clock did not start. Bring it back and restart it with 1:04 left in the opening quarter. Phil Jackson going for win 200 as the LA Laker coach. Michelle, an update on Yao's hand?
Yeah, it's his left index finger. He's jammed it, but they say he's fine. He's going to be back in. It's just a little bit sore. They've looked at it. No problem. He'll be back, but that's what's ailing him, Mike.
Okay, Michelle, final minute. The Lakers lead here by 9.
Right off here into a rhythm while Yao Ming's on the bench.
Griffin the rebound. Bryant read it, stole it, and had the shot changed by Griffin, and Bryant took the worst of that one.
Phil Jackson can't believe it. He's up off the bench saying, what is a foul here?
Kobe holding his mouth behind the play. Meantime, an offensive foul is called in a 5-on-4 situation as Kelvin Cato set a moving screen.
Lakers all business tonight. They're not messing with the referees. They're not getting involved in any of the extra peripheral activities.
Well, he didn't get fouled right there. Yeah, he hit it on the bottom. I'll tell you what may have been a foul if you wanted to call a foul. Steve Francis whacking him across the mouth right when he stole it. But going to the rim, he hit it on the bottom of the foam.
About an 8.5-second difference. Game end, shot clock. Cuttino Mobley gritting his teeth, checking out Kobe, watching those hips, which way they're going to go. Kobe gives him a little show between the legs and down the lane. Couldn't get the offensive board. Rockets have plenty of time for the last shot of the quarter. In a little haste here to get back offensively. Mobley, a 3. George, good if it goes. End of an entertaining first quarter. Shaq played the whole first. Yao 10 of the first 12 minutes. Ming blocked O'Neal's first 3 shots. O'Neal 1 more point and 3 more boards. As for everybody else, Kobe's had a good quarter with 8. But the 2 guys who were the top billing on the marquee have given us a show in the first 12 minutes on this NBA Friday. Quarter number 2 from H-Town. Back at the Compaq Center with Tom Tolbert, Bill Walton, Sal Masekela, Michelle Tafoya, Mike Tirico. Lakers lead by 6. There are the parents of Yao Ming, accomplished basketball players, represented China in international competition. Both of them did. In their youth, they have been here for some time. Yao's mom, the whole stretch. Dad has come over recently. And you see Shaquille O'Neal and right to, well, now the right of Shaq, his dad has made the trip. So people talk about this game being hyped. Hey, when it's meet the parents night, when the parents show up to see their kids, you know it's a big game.
And in talking to Shaq's dad before the game tonight, he showed a very interesting Christmas card in light of the controversy surrounding Shaquille O'Neal's comments. A Christmas card from Yao Ming to Shaq, dated December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, saying, Shaq, thanks for your encouragement. I aspire to be like you, be like Shaq. Signed, Yao Ming.
Both big men off the floor here as the second quarter starts. Terrence Morris in the game, and it was last touched by the second-year man out of Maryland. Had a good game last time out with 7 points. Let's check the numbers, guys, after 1 quarter.
Well, the Rockets have done a great job so far this year in holding teams to 43% shooting, 3rd best in the league. Right there at 44%, doing a nice job. Kobe's hit a couple 3-pointers, but without the big guys in here, who's going to be able to score on the break? Who's going to be able to get the easier shots? Who's going to have the movement offensively?
Nobody for Houston is playing particularly well. The Lakers, on the other hand, sharp at a lot of different positions.
Norris in, watched by rookie Kareem Rush out of Missouri, who has really come on in the confidence and production department in the last couple of weeks. Kelvin Cato over Samaki Walker. Francis couldn't finish the tip, and Walker the board.
Well, Maurice Taylor, you give him that all night.
Maurice Taylor just does not have the lift, the explosiveness. He is nowhere close to the player he needs to be.
He's rushed that lefty stroke. He was such a good 2-guard at Missouri, so used to playing 2-guard. He said the biggest adjustment has been coming to the NBA and playing all these faster ones. But the shot's still there, and now the confidence is there to go with it.
What is it with lefties? David Justice, Swing, Will Clark, lefties the way they shoot.
Who do they play?
Just so, forget it. I'm not going to waste my breath on that.
Lakers have jacked up 11 3-point shots already. Made 3 of their first 4 and missed their last 7.
Shot clock violation. He's never hit the rim, and the Rockets never recognized it.
The poise of the world champion Lakers on full display right now. They were stunned, shocked, dismayed in the opening 4 minutes when Yao Ming took it right to Shaq, but now they are in complete control.
Bryant behind the back to Horry. Ball movement very crisp from LA, as it has been in this stretch since Christmas Day, when they've won 7 of their last 8. Cato cleaned the glass. Mobley saw nobody stop the ball against 2.
Phil Jackson cannot take that transition defense breakdown.
Lakers by 6. 2 minutes in, the Rockets have returned the earlier Laker run. Rush, sweet stroke, a second time.
And he's getting more and more time, and I think Phil Jackson feels more and more confident with him being out there, knowing what spots to be in the triangle, and more importantly, knowing where to be on the defensive end.
How long does Rudy T leave Yao Ming out?
Taylor with some elevation. Maurice Taylor, who missed 538 days after signed with Rudy Tomjanovich's team as a free agent in August of 2000. Pickup game, blew out his Achilles. Then served an NBA suspension at the top end of this season. Now back, still battling some soreness from that Achilles, and the overcompensation part with the left foot starting to hurt a little bit. 6 to shoot. Rush going for the trifecta in this quarter. And Morris cleans the glass.
Yeah, he even looks good when he misses. he looks better when he misses than you did when you made.
Wild shots, no offensive rebounding for Houston. How do they expect to win?
Kobe got a lot of bumping going on, but is re-teed outside by Fisher. Plenty of time on the shot. Samaki Walker, healthy, a little more confident in his game as well since O'Neal is back. Cato comes down with another board. 3 for Kelvin.
A bit of a lull offensively for both teams. Where are the Giants?
Resting.
Everybody needs rest, though.
Nice cut by Mobley. Strong cut, better defense by Devin George. Morris cleans up the garbage.
We learned many years ago, Tom, that we can sleep when we're dead.
Delay of game warning.
You come up with that yourself?
On Houston.
Some friends in San Francisco told me that.
If we can get the big guys in, because the tempo of the game kept you guys.
Well, shots are just harder to come by when your big fellas aren't in there. Everybody can play pressure defense. You don't have to worry about the shot blockers. Everybody's free and easy when the big guys are in there, but not when they're out.
Cato, what are the rules of rebounding? Anticipate the shots will be missed. Get your hands up above your shoulders and go get the ball, please. One time.
Now I understand why Luke is so good. You have that memorized. Probably said it about 1,000 times. Lakers by 4. Timeout at the Compaq Center.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. Hyundai.
Lakers by 4. Shaq Daddy coming back in the game, and Shaq's daddy is standing by with Sal Masakela.
Well, Mike, as you said earlier, it was Meet the Parents night. I'm seeing here with Phil. Sarge Harrison, thanks for taking some time with us, sir. You obviously made the trip. You surprised your son, right?
Yes, I did.
Why'd you come out tonight?
I want to see a good basketball game. See good two centers play a game tonight. The Apprentice and the King.
The Apprentice and the King. What did you think of the moments from the outset, the beginning of the game?
Very good game so far.
Now, a lot of hype was made all week, and we spoke a little bit earlier. You showed me that Christmas card that really said it all.
Yes. Well, Mr. Mink sent us a Christmas card and says, "Dear Mr. O'Neal, that's what you're supposed to holler away. Thanks for the upcoming year. Thanks for the encouragement. You are my #1 player. Be like Shaq, Mr. Yao Ming." Now, I don't know where they're talking about this prejudice stuff comes from. I mean, evidently, somebody's missing something here. But they're all 2 good ball players. Let's keep ball playing and politics out of sports.
Shaq's dad has spoken.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mike.
Sal with the Sarge. Terrence Morris missed O'Neal. Back in the game, gets the rebound, and Brian Shaw, first time on the floor tonight, has it for LA as Kobe Bryant takes a rest. The Lakers leading by 6. Dump it back into O'Neal with Cato in the game defending him, and Kelvin comes down with the rebound.
Shaq has got his rhythm going now. He's getting good looks at the basket. Yao Ming has sat for 7 minutes. And in that 7 minutes, They've only been able to make up 3 points here, the Houston Rockets.
The other big men for Houston, Cato and Morris and Taylor contributing. Ming is at the table to come in next dead ball, but Cato's been a fine defensive presence in there, as he is most nights. Norris 2-on-2, stops, pops, can't finish. Francis tried the flush. Morris had the basket shaking from Stevie hanging on the rim.
Sloppy basketball.
Sloppy, that's good hustle. Getting after it.
Poor spacing on the break. Moochie Norris had an opportunity to pull it back out and wait for a trailer. Steve Francis with the full run.
Well, that's a good shot for him. 15 feet wide open.
Ming comes back in the game. We had talked about the controversy on both sides, and we'll discuss it after the break. The story that has gotten a lot of publicity but has been diffused by O'Neal and Ming over the last few days. Timeout in Houston, 6:16 left, second quarter. Lakers leading by 4 here on NBA Friday. Well, these Celtics, Kevin, were here on Monday night, hit 14 threes, but lost to Yao Ming and the Rockets 101-92. We mentioned earlier the controversy that's been talked about between Ming and Shaquille O'Neal. Comments that were made over the summer of O'Neal mocking the Chinese language. It came to light when played on national radio in December and was the topic of a column in Asian Week publication. And copies of that were taken by the folks from Asian Week and passed around to the LA media. That's why it's come into this news cycle over the last week. Last Friday, Shaquille O'Neal apologized, saying, if I offended anybody, I apologize. To say I'm a racist, I'm quoting Shaq here, a racist against Asians is crazy. And Shaq continued later on saying, I'm an idiot prankster. Shaq's words about Shaq, trying to explain why it happened. Yao Ming did his part to try to diffuse it, saying there are a lot of the difficulties in the two different cultures understanding each other and trying to take some of the pressure off O'Neal. And you see after the comments were made by the date given on the Christmas card, Ming made that extension to Shaquille O'Neal. But certainly it's caused a lot of emotions, and as Bryant goes in, is fouled, an educational process, Bill, in this entire situation that's come to light this week.
There is no place for those kind of comments in our world, our culture, our society by Shaq or anybody else. You want to tease around, you want to joke, that's fine, but don't make statements like that in a public setting. If that's what you're saying, what are you thinking? And the apology, I felt, was unacceptable. If I offended anybody, that didn't work very well for Trent Lott, who used the same language.
Francis tries the tricky dribble and tees up Moochie Norris. Rockets have moved it to 2, and that's the comments that were brought up. Trent Lott's name and Fuzzy Zeller's name were brought up. In this case, Ming saying that he accepted Shaq's apology essentially would have grown into a larger situation, Tom.
Well, when you look at it, I think it's ridiculous, because I think people look at it and they read it in the text version. And if you look at how Shaq was saying it, it wasn't meant to be derogatory. There was no malice behind it. It was intended to be funny. Now, whether you thought it was funny or not, you have to look at how he was saying it. And you know what? We want our athletes to open up. We want a little piece of them. We want them to show personality. And then when they step out of bounds a little bit, they get cracked. And no wonder we get all these athletes who give us cliches and give us tired answers, and we never get to hear anything. And one more comment. If we had microphones in locker rooms, baseball, I don't know, basketball, I do know, they would think we're all racist, because we all kid around with each other. We all have fun with each other, and those would be taken out of context. But in the context of a locker room, we all have fun with each other, and we all say things that probably wouldn't be acceptable in the outside world, but they're acceptable because we know one another.
I couldn't disagree more. This was not in a locker room. This was on a national television show.
Bill, but how did he say it? How did he form it, though?
Shaq is the leader of the NBA.
Was he not trying to be funny?
At someone else's expense, at someone else's ethnicity. And that is unacceptable on any front.
I disagree. I think we all need to learn to laugh at ourselves a little bit more.
O'Neal misfired. Horry an offensive foul. Oh, we're going to call it goaltending? Yes, goaltending. Not Horry over the back. This could go on for a long time. I heard you on Dan Patrick's show, your column on ESPN.com, your radio show in San Francisco. One thing that could be positive that came out of this was at least an educational point that we always look at white African-American relations and other religious groups that came over from Europe, whether it's you talk Italians or Polish or Jews. All jokes are uncomfortable to each certain class, whether it's race or religion. we now are more cognizant, as Francis hits a three, of the Asian population, their impact in the United States, and their concerns in this regard. And Shaq's got to know better. Shaq's got to know that anytime he says something, because he's one of the biggest stars in sports, that he will be held responsible for it. Lakers, as you see, have tried 8 more three-pointers than the Rockets thus far.
No, I asked Rudy Tom Jonathan before the game, what did he think about the comments? And he said, I love Shaq because he's a comedian, because he's funny, because he jokes around. And sure, if he owes people, I can't speak from a Chinese-American standpoint. If he owes them an apology, I think he gave them that apology. Bill doesn't think it was an acceptable apology, but I think that is very consistent with who Shaq is, trying to be a comedian. Defensive 3 seconds and a technical foul. Guys, just want to clean up one point from the league standpoint. There's been a lot said that David Stern hasn't said anything. In fact, the commissioner was quoted in the Arizona Republic on January 12th, the fine paper out in the Phoenix area, saying that the NBA's reviewed Shaq's comments, found them to be insensitive, although not intentionally mean-spirited. The words of the commissioner. The NBA did contact the Lakers, and O'Neal issued the apology that we talked about. And I think the last point is a significant one, as Francis shoots the tee for defensive 3 seconds. NBA doesn't condone remarks that are insensitive to any nationality, race, or religion. This season, players in the NBA represent 34 different countries, and the league strongly feels that diversity is its strength. And they've been pushing that with a number of record international players. So that's the response from the league. Francis on the take, makes it a 2-point game. Houston's come back very nicely after being down 11. Francis has 12 of Houston's 38. That's a sweet move in any language.
But the Rockets are getting everything by one-on-one play. There's no ball movement. The Lakers defense is making them play an individual game. You can't beat Los Angeles that way.
Thus, the Lakers take the timeout. Steve Francis, 16 minutes, a dozen points. Seen an 11-point lead sliced to 2. Houston back in this one on NBA Friday here on ESPN. Psyche check for the Mavs after getting blown out on NBA Wednesday in Sacramento. Here's Michelle Tafoya as the Rockets trail by 2.
Oh, Mike, remember back in May when Shaq told reporters how he might welcome Yao Ming into the league? He said, I might give him an elbow to the nose. Well, Yao Ming proved yesterday he's got a sense of humor as well. When asked about that comment, Yao said, I think Shaq has a lot of meat on his elbows, so maybe it won't hurt too much. So Yao has a little bit of humor to him too, Mike.
Michelle, you and I were at the shoot-around yesterday, and the practice. It was impressive that Yao kept his sense of humor with the crush of media. Veterans who've been around the league for a long time, like Rick Bucher and David Aldridge, our ESPN colleagues. They said it was like a conference finals feel to the media situation pregame. Francis steals, stops, and shoots 3 to give the Rockets the lead.
The only person who has had the relationship with the media that Yao Ming has had this early in his career in the history of the NBA has been Magic Johnson.
Lakers trying to get their share of the lead back. Bryant missed it, so LA has gone cold.
Kobe hit his first 2 shots and has missed his last 9.
2 of 11 from the field. Takes it into Ming, draws the D, and Fisher is short. A lot of threes from the Lakers here tonight.
Where's the defensive rebounding for the Rockets?
Or Yao Ming had 7-6. How can you play this long and have no rebounds? None. Nada.
He's guarding Shaq, that's why.
Well, you should be under the bucket, shouldn't you?
Fox ends a stretch of 10 consecutive missed threes by LA.
If you're guarding the man who is the focus of the other team's offense, you're not going to get a lot of rebounds, and that's not your job.
If I can quote you, get a rebound. 7-6, yeah. You got to be able to get a rebound.
When the other guys shoot and Shaq's on the weak side, then Yao Ming should get those rebounds. Terrible pass.
Mobley left free. Don't want to do that with Cuttino, a very good three-point shooter, in stretches. And the Rockets regain the 1-point advantage at the 2-minute mark, first half.
That guy's just a flag gamer, Cuttino Mobley. Rudy Tom Donovan said, reminded me a lot of Sam Cassell, just a guy that's fearless, gets out there and plays. This guy was drafted number 41. No one in the league averages more who was drafted lower than Cuttino Mobley.
Derek Fisher knocks it down.
I'm amazed that the Lakers and Shaq have not been able to pick up more fouls on Yao Ming. Seems like they haven't even tried to do that. But Yao Ming is not passing the ball when he gets the ball. He's always looking to shoot here, and the guys are not moving off of him.
Big man stays home defensively. A little bit of a zone look. The rebound pulled down by Fisher with 1:18 to go.
Well, we haven't seen the big fella touch the ball in a little bit. About time to establish him back down low.
Interesting thing is Shaq's not just moving Yao Ming out of the way he does everyone else.
Mobley went for it. Taylor came over for help, and Kobe's going to shoot some free throws. Well, is Shaq or Yao the most efficient center in the NBA? Statistically, how can you get that answer? Log on to NBA.com for exclusive efficiency rankings. Ming comes to the bench. 1 foul, 6 points, 15 minutes, 3 blocks, no rebounds.
A spectacular start and nothing since then. And that's what you don't really want to see. You want to see the constant improvement and the constant regular contributions.
Well, sometimes that can work as a negative. If you get hot from beyond the three-point arc, then it takes away some of your aggressiveness. And I thought going into this game that that's a matchup that they could exploit. Kobe Bryant, Cuttino Mobley guarding him and post him down low and jump up over.
82% free throw shooter. Extends the Los Angeles advantage to 3. Taylor and Cato.
Derek Fisher has done a good job keeping Steve Francis under control.
Strong, muscular body, almost physically keeping Steve Francis away from what he wants to start offensively. Couldn't get the benefit of the Taylor bump up top.
Robert Horry, so good.
That's a tough shot. Horry's defense causing it, and O'Neal hit it last out of bounds.
We saw the defensive stand by Derek Fisher. That just is another example of how great Mike Bibby for Sacramento is. But Mike Bibby, he took Derek Fisher and Kobe Bryant apart last year in the Western Conference Finals. We saw him do that to Steve Nash on Wednesday night. 1
on the shot clock. Taylor knows it, didn't get it off. A quick trigger. Rudy saying, wait, it's a home game. That was the quickest Houston second in Houston.
That shot clock should have never gone off until the ball was out of his hands.
Saying little home cooking's in order?
Why not?
I agree.
Bryant had it knocked away by Mobley. So Mobley's defense has been strong. Francis runs to the line. Fisher finds him.
Kobe tried to grab him and foul him. They didn't call it.
The Lakers have not committed a foul here in this second quarter, so they have some to give. I think Horry just gave one right there. It's so bizarre to get to this point in the game with no fouls to give, but obviously the first in the last 2 minutes. And Rudy T will take the 20 that you can take with you into the second half. Phil Jackson, Rudy Tomjanovich. These two head coaches have won 11 of the last 12 NBA championships. Amazing coaching matchup. Here are the matchups coming up on national TV for you. TNT will have a Martin Luther King Day triple header that will include these Lakers taking on the Clippers in the third game of the stretch. And on Wednesday, Bill and Brad and David Aldridge will be in New Orleans to see Michael Jordan and the Wizards take on the Hornets. How good was Michael in the early going last night? And the victory over Orlando and the growing concern over Grant Hill, as Doc Rivers made the comments today that we may not see Grant Hill on into perhaps the playoffs because of that continuing ankle problem.
They've got to do something different because what they're doing now is just not working. Grant Hill has to become a role player. He has to become someone who just makes limited contributions on a consistent basis, and maybe it'll work.
What a shame. I don't think you'll ever see him as a dominant player in the NBA again. I think that's over, and it's too bad. He's a good guy, and he's not one of those guys that sits back and says, I'm making a lot of money doing nothing. He feels bad about being out.
Mobley using the shot clock. Here's Cato. He just got it off in time. 1-point game. Final 5 seconds. It's in Kobe's hands. It's where you want it. Bryant lost the handle. Look back at the other clock. Shoots a long 3. That's the end of the first half. The big man matchup ended up with O'Neal for 11, Ming for 6. Both quiet in that second quarter coming out of the locker room. Lakers lead 47-46 here at the half. It started with a greeting, included a glare once game time got started. Shaquille O'Neal, a presence inside as the half wore on. Shaq 5 of 10 from the field in his 20 minutes. Yao Ming made an impressive opening splash. blocking Shaq's first 3 shots and showing some offense, but then faded in this much anticipated matchup of the big men. Lakers 47, Rockets 46 at the break. Our first half numbers look something like this. Lakers did lead by 11. 4 of 16 shooting from behind the arc certainly sticks out there. The Rockets, the better transition team as you would expect. Thank you, Tom. Steve Francis leading all scorers with 15 points. With Sal Masakela, Michelle Tafoya, Tom Tolbert, and Bill Walton.
That was Bill playing with
That was
Bill.
That was not Tom. That was the worst drawing ever. But it was the 3 turnovers because the Lakers, it's all their tempo and it's all their pace. Just the 3 turnovers, very good. For Houston, they are not playing that well. Their forwards are not contributing. And for them to do a much better job, they have to have more ball movement, and Yao Ming has to do more things for his team than just shoot the ball.
He's got a rebound. Moochie Norris 1 rebound. Yao no rebounds. I think I made a lot of money down in Las Vegas on that one. That would have been easy, but the story to me is not Yao, not Shaq. It's Kobe Bryant. You may have thought he had a bad half going 2 of 12. Well, he got 7 assists and 7 rebounds. He's doing work. Steve Francis shooting 5 for 8. 4 rebounds, 6 assists. These are the guys that are taking it to one another.
Those numbers were interesting, guys. Yao made the big splash early with the blocks and the points, and Shaq did nothing in the first 3 minutes. But the balance of the half, Yao Ming was the one with no points and no rebounds.
But Shaq, he wears you down. Nobody since Shaq has hooked up with Phil Jackson has been able to stay with Shaq over the course of time. We'll see tonight.
Mobley got to the goal as Ming set a knockdown pick on Rick Fox. Rockets lead. Here's Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Bill Walton, Rudy Tomjanovich would disagree with you. He's pretty happy with the way that his team is playing. He's happy with their defense. The one thing he wants is for Yao Ming to get better position before he shoots the ball, not settle for as many shots. He also said he knows Kobe Bryant's going to get back into this game. They're going to need help defense on Kobe. Other than that, he's really happy, Bill.
Have you ever known Rudy not to be happy?
Why not? He's a good Michigan guy, born in Hamtramck, Michigan, right outside of downtown. Kobe hits the hoop to give the Lakers a 1-point lead, 49-48. So Bryant, after that drought of field goals, comes back. Steve Francis on the return end.
Eddie Griffin with a nice little hand on there, but he does not seem to be moving well after that first half collision. Steve Francis now comes up rubbing that right shoulder.
Rockets a little banged up here. Lead to shoot. Bryant, Shaq play a 2-man game. And there you go, Tom.
Rebound. He's tied Moochie. 1 more to take the lead.
James Posey, a triple.
When you quit worrying about individual stats and start concentrating on how the team is going to do. James Posey is a critical element of this attack. That was his first points of the game.
After Ming's first rebound on the night.
Don't rebounds help you win, though?
Doubling Shaq here. Posey came over for the help. O'Neal walked through it. Fisher's got 2 and takes.
Wow. Now you get a rebound for that, and he had a tap rebound early.
Bryant stops Francis. They go one-on-one here. Could be the starting all-star backcourt in the West. Francis, a circus hooper foul! What a play by Stevie.
Yeah, just about threw him out of the gym on the pickup right there. Well, that's schoolyard right there. It's you can't stop me. I'm going to get to the hoop. Shaq reaches in and grabs him. And you want to know how strong Steve Francis is? That was Shaq that grabbed him and he went through and scored it.
This is another reason why Yao Ming and the Houston Rockets have a chance against Los Angeles, is because Shaq has to stay at home against Yao Ming. If he's out there against Kelvin Cato, Terrence Morris, all these other guys, he just stands in the middle, and those lanes are not open. The Rockets have to take advantage of them.
I agree with you, but Shaq has to step over and close that off and make him pitch it out. It's a better jump shot from Yao than a layup by Steve Francis.
Bryant lost the handle, but does find Fisher, who knocks it down. And Houston's largest lead of the night, 7, is back down to 5. Here in the Compaq Center, Ming has not scored since the first 3 minutes of the game. Got his first rebound. The Rockets trailed by 11 at one point in the first, but have since come back. Mobley finds Ming, but Yao couldn't hang on.
Tough spacing. The Rockets are going to have to do a better job of moving themselves away from the basket to create the driving opportunities, and then the opportunity to pass it off.
Just want to clean up that last play on the offensive end where Francis scored and went to the line. The foul was given to Kobe Bryant, who had the first contact coming across the lane.
And Shaq did the good thing of trying to really prevent the continuation. It just was futile ultimately.
Bryant dished it to Fisher. Well, better defense from the Rockets the last couple of half-court sets for LA. Triple by Posey.
Nice shot selection.
Thought he was hot.
He was.
Found out he wasn't.
And Rudy will say, I love the way we're playing.
Shaq gives to Horry, finds Fox. It's going the other way. Posey, who essentially had the turnover with the poor shot selection, gets the ball back for his team.
Has there ever been a great center that didn't have an unbelievable small forward? And that's going to be the challenge for this Rocket franchise, to find that guy. Who's going to be the person like Bill Bradley for Willis Reed, like John Havlicek and Tommy Heinsohn for Bill Russell, like Jamal Wilkes and James Worthy for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like Clyde Drexler for Akeem Olajuwon.
Well, Clyde Drexler was an off-guard.
He played a lot of small forward.
Who'd you have, by the way, in Portland?
I had 3 of the greatest in my career.
Ming over O'Neal. Posey kept it alive. Rebound by Horry.
Bob Gross in Portland, Jamal Wilkes at UCLA, and Larry Bird at Boston.
All are better for having you.
Larry
as well.
Bird had you. You didn't have Larry Bird. Oh, let's clear that one up.
Fox at 2.
I have no argument with you there. I was Larry's valet.
Mobley around Kobe. O'Neal kept it alive. Nice play by Shaq. Bryant, the hesitation and the drive. He tried to get the circus layup that time. The contact with Mobley. The fouls on Cuttino, and Rudy didn't agree.
It's become very physical out there. The referees are letting the action go, and the players have to learn to keep their bodies moving and not wait for the whistle. Need to get all the way around. That's a horrendous call.
Yeah. I think a lot of times they'll make the call based on the result. If the guy falls down and it looks like he got fouled, you're assuming he's going to draw contact. And indeed, he was the one, Kobe, that put the arm out right there that actually initiated the contact.
Bryant makes the first. Rudy continues the dialogue with Monty McCutcheon.
But when you're that good, you get those calls. I know, because they went against me when people were that good.
Kobe Bryant criticized when he had the 47 field goal attempts against Boston earlier this year. But when you look back, this team, nobody wanted to take shots. Yeah. Kobe had to take those. Shaq has come back, and since then, Kobe's much more in the flow, and he's having about as good a half dozen games as he's had in his 7-year NBA career.
I was jealous.
There you go.
On the 47 shots?
Absolutely. Eddie Griffin has got to come alive.
Francis tried to lose Fisher, knocked to the deck. Fisher on the run out.
Beautiful recognition.
Oh, Francis foul.
Robert Horry, Derek Fisher. These are champion-level role players around Shaq and Kobe. Derek Fisher saw that Steve Francis went to the ground, just took off on the run here. Francis goes down. Horry picks it up immediately. I have not seen Clyde Drexler here in the building tonight, but other than he, every retired number in this franchise history is in attendance tonight.
I was looking at that before. You're right, Bill, with Akeem Olajuwon and Moses Malone. Rudy T, of course, coaching, and Calvin Murphy. We need to put Calvin on camera before the night's done. Because you're not going to believe what you'll see. Calvin working opposite side from us. Look at that suit. Look at that suit.
The Hall of Famer, Calvin Murphy.
How about the doll with the suit on? Check that thing out right there. That thing is amazing right there.
Calvin has to wear that suit at home because it will not make it through the metal detector at the airport. Ming, offensive.
Robert Horry again, making it all happen. The areas that never get credit in the stat sheet.
Yao's parents see their son, age 22, pick up his 3rd personal foul.
Well, that's tough for a big guy to catch the ball on the move and be able to stop immediately and shoot it. The momentum's just going to take you into the defender.
Shaq is playing. He's moving. He's dishing up off the ground.
This one on transition. The Rockets are getting frustrated with the whistle stop tour here in the third.
But they have to play above that and through it. They need to start helping Yao Ming. How about driving the ball at Shaq? Shaq will come to defend and stop penetration and setting up Yao Ming for easy little short shots.
Well, Bill, that's part of the youth of this Rocket team. For these guys, most of them have not been through a game like this, this kind of, even though it's a regular season game, this kind of buzz. I know there are playoff appearances on this roster. Horry can't continue what is a 7-0 LA run. 5 rebounds now for the big guy.
How about Yao in the low post? With some action off it. Show his passing skills.
It is a 2-man game with Griffin. There was no game on. Francis and the Rockets get a whistle on their end halfway through the quarter.
Well, neither of the teams have really initiated the offense in this third quarter through their big guys. We haven't seen Shaq really get the ball down low and do work. We haven't seen Yao get the ball down low and do work. It's almost like the backcourts have started to take over a little bit.
Kevin Fair got an earful from Phil Jackson.
I think the way this game has played out to this point, the Rockets have to be incredibly encouraged.
The lob for Yao. Fisher deterred him from jumping. Francis rips Cord on a 3.
That was the passing we were talking about right there. Had the anticipation that the defense is going to suck down. Right back out to Steve Francis.
Stevie has hit all 4 of his 3-pointers here tonight. Leads all scorers with 23. He is 9th in the league, averaging 22.9 per game.
I'm amazed how Yao Ming has been able to keep Shaq away from the basket.
There's O'Neal. Blocked by Ming again! But it ends up in the hands of Horry, who throws it down on Yao. Timeout Rockets.
And it's a good timeout because Yao Ming is tired. He made a tremendous play. Again, when that ball comes loose, where are Yao Ming's teammates? Right now, it's Shaq's teammates who are carrying the load. What a block.
Yao Ming has 4 blocks, all of Shaquille O'Neal, 3 coming at the start of the game. That won the 4th. As mentioned earlier by Bill, Shaquille O'Neal has never seen somebody that big, this good. And he's finding out about Yao, but on the scoreboard still counts as 2 for LA. They are within 1, middle of the third in Houston.
All right, thanks a lot. I'm standing by with 2 of the best big men ever to play in the NBA. And Akeem Olajuwon, let's get your take first on this matchup. Who do you think has gotten the better of it so far, Shaquille or Yao?
Well, I think they both have played very well. I'm surprised the way Yao, all held himself, and he did a great job on defense. And for the first appearance, to see what he's doing is very impressive.
I saw you in the hallway give him a high five and say, keep it up, big fella. You've been enjoying it.
I'm very happy to see how he held himself up.
Moses Malone, what are your thoughts so far on this matchup of these 2 giants?
Well, right now they're about even. Your man doing what he should do. Shaq doing what he should do. Shaq more stronger. Shaq is trying to get low, and your man is all he had to do is keep good position and make sure Shaq turn around and play 10-foot and 12-foot height, and it's going to be a good game.
What, if anything, has surprised you about Yao Ming in this game?
Well, he's not afraid. He playing the game like it should be played. Shaq, he the dominant center in the league, so Yao Ming came tonight to play.
Well, 2 of the best have given their opinions, Mike Tirico. Thanks, guys.
And Michelle, 2 of the rare breed in the last 22 years in the NBA, centers who won the Most Valuable Player Award. As you look at the comparison from the first 3 minutes, Ming coming up with all 5 of those rebounds after the first 3 minutes here in the third quarter. Akeem, Moses, David Robinson, Shaq. Only 4 centers to win the MVP in the last 22 years. Compare that to the prior era when the center position represented the most valuable player in the league 20 of 21 years. Only Oscar Robertson in 1964. And that 21 years includes our colleague, Mr. Walton. Fisher knocks it down to make it a 1-point game.
Kareem had 6. Wilt had 5. Russell had 5. And Wilt had 4. So Willis Reed had 1. Dave Cowens, Bob McAdoo. Tremendous run.
Did you mention Wes Unseld?
Wes Unseld,
the other one in there. Had the other one in there. Yep. Got them all, bud.
When when I was watching Akeem talk there, on Christmas Day when we were with Ahmad Rashad, Ahmad had been to China when Yao Ming was growing up. Yes. And Ahmad was telling me that at the time when Yao Ming was growing up, everyone in China wanted to be like Akeem Olajuwon. And that's one of the reasons that Yao Ming is such a different player. The players who are trying to be like Shaq, you can't be like Shaq. He's just too different, he's too good, he's too big, he's too strong, and he's too skilled.
Francis has hit all 5 of his three-point attempts, a 4-point lead, stays that way. Ming kept it alive for Mobley to come away with the rebound. The Lakers continue to struggle from behind the arc here tonight.
Wow, that's a horrendous post-entry pass.
Yeah, I telegraphed that one.
Fox comes away with the steal. Shaq just came on down the lane.
Offensive foul, and a good call there.
Called by Monty McCutcheon on O'Neal, the first on Shaq.
Questions about Shaq's stamina and conditioning level coming back from the toe surgery. Unable to play ball all summer long. This quarter, 0 for 2 shooting, has yet to get an offensive rebound. Rudy T ecstatic on that correct call by the official. Shaq just running over Yao Ming.
Was a defender. Oh!
James Posey scrapes the ceiling. Timeout LA.
And when guys like Yao Ming stand in and are willing to Shaq, that inspires everybody around him. Throw it down, Eddie Griffin, one time.
See right there, the bounce pass is changed. Mobley coming up and under, and oh, it's so easy right now. We talk about Yao, we talk about Shaq, but for the Houston Rockets, it's been Stevie Francis.
Well, Phoenix is continuing to play impressive ball on a night in, night out basis. They had some tough games in this stretch, and they've come through it pretty well.
They never stop. Frank Johnson has been remarkable about rebuilding the tough image that that franchise used to have in the glory days of Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson and Danny Ainge. And now all of a sudden with Amari Stoudemire, he's just given them such a whole new lease on life. That's an NBA team again in the Valley of the Sun.
Well, he's certainly my rookie of the year right now. As well as Yao's played, and I wouldn't make a big deal out of it if Yao were to win rookie of the year, but if they keep going at this pace, Amari Stoudemire is the only thing they have inside on that team right now. He's coming out of high school, and he's dominating. I mean, he's playing amazing basketball.
It wasn't like this Rocket team was tearing it up a year ago.
Agreed.
Bryant took it at Ming, couldn't get where he wanted to, and Yao comes away with it.
Kobe Bryant has missed 11 of his last 12 shots. He hasn't scored in the last 31 minutes of action.
Ming turns and fades on O'Neal. Kareem Rush in the game.
Big fellas out there.
You've got to capitalize when Shaq gets an advantage in transition like that.
Fox back in control. 12 to shoot. Plenty of time for LA. Down deep O'Neal. Missed it.
Robert Horry is the best post feeder in the NBA.
Bryant had it knocked away from behind by Francis into the hands of Mobley.
The crowd is alive. Houston, take advantage. Score here. Big moment.
You actually keep track of post feeders?
Those guys are really bad.
We need to get you to a movie sometime or something.
Griffin tries it. Short on the 3.
He has taken 2 of the worst shots in this quarter that I've seen in the history of this Rocket franchise.
All right, Bill, settle down. Here is Kareem Rush. He went at Ming. Big fella, but put back. They want it in the cylinder on the Rocket bench.
That's why you don't leave Shaq if you're Yao Ming. Make the other guys beat you.
Officials rule they came out of the cylinder, so O'Neal's first points of the quarter bring the Lakers to within 4. Kareem Rush picks up the foul.
Well, I tell you what, from this vantage point, it looked like it was over the cylinder. Sometimes it can be deceiving. Let's see where that ball is.
Oh, definitely in the cylinder.
Certainly looks over the... Daddy likes it, though. Daddy Shaq says it's not over the cylinder.
Shaq's father.
That's why they don't let parents referee the games.
As he did at this point in the first quarter and most of the Rocket games. 10 minutes in after the break, Yao Ming comes to the bench. He's played 26 minutes here tonight. 4 blocks, 6 points, 5 boards.
And this timeout by the Lakers gives Yao Ming an extra rest here. Interesting by Phil Jackson.
You see Glenn Rice right next to Yao talking to him. Glenn Rice is on the injured list with a left shoulder injury that will not need surgery. He'll be able to rehab it. Rockets leading the Lakers 67-62 at the 2-minute mark, third quarter here in Houston. Glad you're with us for our NBA Friday. Remind you what's ahead for us here on national TV with the NBA. You'll see the Blazers take on Hubie Brown in Memphis. The Celtics and 76ers, Philadelphia continuing to struggle. The loss again tonight. And these Lakers against the Clippers in TNT's Martin Luther King Day tripleheader. And then on Wednesday night, the New Orleans Hornets host Michael Jordan and the Washington Wizards on our NBA Wednesday presentation on ESPN.
Grizzlies have won 8 of their last 9 at home. Blazers playing very well. Just beat Memphis in Portland on Wednesday night. Portland's only losses over the last couple of weeks have been to bad teams, Chicago and Denver, with the exception of the Phoenix Suns that went into the Rose Garden up there and spanked Portland. Portland's first game home after a tough East Coast trip where they won 4 out of 5.
Cuttino Mobley. Free throw is good. Michelle, the lead is 6.
I'll take a look at Yao Ming, and you see on that left hand that I told you about in the first quarter, he jammed that index finger. He continues to hold ice whenever he's on the bench. It is bothering him just a little bit, Mike.
Michelle, it has been they go right inside to O'Neal, as Tom, you were talking about during the timeout, and immediately pick up the personal foul on Kelvin Cato. It's been a tough physical week for Yao Ming. If you remember, he had to leave the game against Denver on Monday with a slight left knee problem, but Yao came out, it was on Saturday, I should say, and then he came out joking with the media, as you see him wearing that little sleeve on his knee. Came out limping on Sunday when the media saw him. There was all concern, and then Yao started laughing. He was just playing possum with him. 2 to shoot. Kobe saw it, takes it, and got fouled by Cuttino Mobley.
Not sure why Cuttino Mobley is going for pump fakes. Kobe has missed 12 out of his last 13 shots. Extremely difficult attempt anyway.
Well, it's instinctive is what it is. I mean, you're playing against Kobe Bryant. You're competitive. So when he goes up, I'm not
even a foul.
I don't think it's a foul either. But if you get caught up in the air as a defender, they're going to give you that foul.
That's a mistake.
No, it is a mistake. But you know what I'm saying. You're guarding the guy. You kind of lose track of what's going on. You just want to stop him from scoring.
Kobe Bryant, certainly an all-star starter in all likelihood when that's announced coming up next week. But concerns if he will be, as O'Neal sits, if he will be at the all-star game in Atlanta, as he and his wife are expecting their first child right around all-star time. Bryant has been good at the line here tonight. 7 of 8. And the Lakers are down 4. With both big men on the bench.
Oh God, let's hope not. He's having his baby. I got to imagine he's there seeing the birth of his first child rather than being at the All-Star game.
He's already checked out the schedule and the plane arrangements to get back in town if he's out of town. But we have
what is he thinking? What is this guy thinking? That's a hook shot.
From James Posey.
The patience of a coach. Rudy Tomjanovich. That guy's going straight to heaven.
It'll be with a Houston boarding pass, that's for sure. He has been part of the Rockets franchise 33 straight years.
Oh, since their days in San Diego.
Fox, tough shot because the shot clock was running down.
They're going to start taking points away here in a minute.
The game loses a bit when Shaq and Yao Ming go to the bench. Nice pass.
Great pass.
Francis supposes to see Francis continues to add to this excellent night. 8 assists to go with his 26 points.
2 for 1 time for the Lakers if they go quick.
Kobe drew the knee for Kareem Rush, who hit 2 similar shots in the first half.
The Lakers have been criticized for not adding new talent. They need Kareem Rush to come and step to the fore here.
Toronto's first-round pick, 20th overall in this past draft, traded with Tracy Murray for Lindsey Hunter and Chris Jeffries. Bryant foul on the outside on Steve Francis. Sal Masakela, you were talking to Kobe about the impending birth of their first child next month.
Yeah, well, I asked him at the shoot-around this morning. I said, hey, you're starting to have the fatherhood jitters. And he looked at me and he stopped. He said, you know what? I really am starting to get the jitters. Now that we're past the 37th week, before it was routine, he's like, now it's basically any day I'm on standby. So starting to get those the pre-fatherhood jitters at 24. Who wouldn't?
At any age, who wouldn't?
Get some sleep, Kobe.
That's right.
Get some sleep.
Those never go away.
The jitters or the lack of sleep?
Both.
Struggle from the field for Kobe, atypical of what he has been doing this season. Steve Francis, a terrific game here. 27 of the Rockets' 71. All the billing for the big guys, but as expected, the production from two of the best stars in the league, Bryant and Francis, will go a long way to deciding the winner tonight. Rush lost the handle. It luckily bounces to Horry. Fox sees how much time is left in the quarter and hits a big three.
Eddie Griffin is behind the play virtually every possession. He has got to wake up.
Maybe still feeling the effects of what happened earlier. Big quarter for Steve Francis. He has 27 points in the game, a dozen in that third quarter. Houston leads by 2. Off we go to the fourth quarter on NBA Friday. Remember, full highlights of this and all the NBA games coming up on SportsCenter right after the game here on ESPN. David Aldridge is here. He'll have a report as well. Let's check out our game track of the first 3 quarters. Rockets leading by 2. They outscored LA by 3 in that third quarter.
Well, I think the biggest stat to me, and you see it right there, Kobe won for his last 12 field goals, the 3 for 14 overall. If you're the Rockets, you're thinking, okay, he's had 3 bad quarters. The fourth quarter, you better be very cognizant of where Kobe Bryant is, because I don't expect him to finish 3 for 19, 3 for 20. Look for Kobe Bryant to do some damage in this fourth quarter.
Steve Francis leading the way for Houston, 9 of 14 from the field. 5 of those 9 3-pointers. Rush and Bryant start in the backcourt with Samaki Walker, Devin George, and Shaq to start the fourth. George misses in the rebound for the Rockets.
You got Shaq in there guarded by Kelvin Cato. Better yet, not guarded by Kelvin Cato. What kind of shot is that by Devin George?
Francis on the 2-man game with Taylor came up with the open jumper. It's out of bounds off LA. Good hustle by Taylor. Well, Captain Frazier's in the studio tonight. He's joined by Sean Elliott and Tim Legler, bringing you the full slate of games on Tuesdays. See Yao going up against Dallas this Tuesday. Jason Kidd, the Eastern champs. Chris Webber, all in action this Tuesday, and we take you around the league live on NBA Fast Break Tuesday, ESPN 2, 9:30 Eastern Time. It's a good update on what's going on around the league and the trends as well. Mobley on the drive over O'Neal.
Houston's next 2 games are at San Antonio Monday, at Dallas Tuesday, so it's a very difficult stretch. They win this one and get those 2 and go 4-0 against very good teams. That would be a huge statement for the Rockets.
Houston trying to win for the 8th time in their last 10 games. O'Neal over Cato, as you talked about that.
Every time. That's where you got to go, every single time.
Yao Ming's played 25 minutes. He's already got 3 fouls. Shaq's getting into a rhythm and roll here against Kelvin Cato. When does Rudy Tomjanovich bring Yao Ming back?
Well, it's only 1 bucket.
That's a roll.
Kareem Rush with the foul.
You see right here, Mobley going to the hole and just going to flip it just up a little bit over. Shaq couldn't quite get that one. That's the fearlessness we're talking about with this guy. He doesn't care who he's going towards or up against. He's going to take it right at you.
Francis takes it at Kobe and picks up the foul.
Well, Kobe's having a difficult time with him going at 101. He's going to need some help because Francis is crossing him over. And the last 2 times he's got by him, it's been right. So Kobe has to realize that and make Stevie Francis go last.
Kobe has 4 personal fouls. The Lakers 2 team fouls here in the first 90 seconds of this fourth quarter.
And I believe that Kobe Bryant's the best individual defender in the league. And to see Steve Francis go by him like that, then is a testament to how talented, explosive, and great Steve Francis is.
4 fouls, 3 field goals for Bryant, who takes a seat as we visit with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, one of the reasons Steve Francis says he's quicker and has better stamina this season is he's changed his diet. He's given up fried chicken, cheeseburgers, French fries, all what he calls all the teenage food. He says it's been great for him. The dizzy spells and headaches, Mike, that bothered him last year have disappeared since he changed his eating habits. But on Christmas, he said no holds barred. He ate everything, including fried chicken that day.
He checked in with the doctors to make sure that they're going to have just one little taste of the old good stuff. He played 57 games. Those migraines kept him out. Rudy T didn't know, night to night if he was going to have Steve Samaki Walker on the putback there.
Steve Francis, a diet change. Sounds like a commercial in there somewhere.
Mobley was looking for a bailout pass when he got up in the air, but James Posey wasn't waiting for the ball.
Well, it kind of got lost in the shuffle last play because Samaki Walker got the offensive rebound. But Cuttino Mobley was down there boxing out Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, an off guard down there saying, you know what? Forget life and limb. I'm going to keep this guy off the glass.
If I'm Yao Ming, I just walked up and substitute myself right now. This game is in the balance.
Francis over Fisher. Continuing this terrific night now. 31 for the guy who used to be called Stevie Franchise. Now that Yao has shown up, we don't hear that nickname as often, but he's still the guy who takes this team far. No question. Cato gets help on Shaq. Then it goes away, and O'Neal goes to the goal. O'Neal tonight, 7 of 16. Posey, nobody stopped the ball, so the former Nugget kept coming.
Traveling, please.
Traveling, Lakers ball.
There's a huge gap in this game between Rick Fox and Robert Horry and James Posey and Eddie Griffith. And if the Rockets are going to have serious long-term dreams come true, they're going to have to narrow that gap significantly.
Very young team with Glenn Rice on the injured list. There's no Rocket dressed for this game. Over the age of 29. Kareem Rush's 4th two-point field goal. And the young man out of Missouri, he's not hitting the rookie wall right now because he didn't play heavy minutes early. Now has his sea legs and is 4 of 6 in the field here this evening. Just in 14 minutes. Francis feeling it. Missed the 3. Shaq up tall to pull down a rebound, number 7.
You get the feeling the way this game's going, the Lakers should be down more than they are. Only down 2 with 8:40 to go.
This is where the Lakers are at their best. Pressure situations.
Shaq discarded. Cato, Yao is at the table ready to check in. Tie game at 7.
Need better ball movement. You're not going to beat the Lakers defense with a lot of dribbling.
Mobley took it in.
Great closeout by Fisher.
On Francis, but then Steve using the speed. He's drawn about a half dozen fouls on the Lakers here tonight. 4 fouls on the starting backcourt of Bryant and Fisher.
You want to know why it's tough to guard that guy? Because that 350 lead with the shoulder out.
Hard to see how that's not an offensive foul.
Because he's Shaq. That's why.
Yao Ming back in the game when you come back to Houston. So while we were away, Turbo.
Unbelievable.
This is not something you want to try at home.
You don't want to try it on the road either. You don't want to try that anywhere on a Nerf hoop.
Well, one of the reasons that the Rockets have been able to stay in this game is that they are dominating the boards. They're +8 on the boards. They did fall behind by 4 points, though, when Yao Ming went to the bench for 6 minutes. Another careless turnover.
Bryant, good defense. Dish to Devin George. Posey stayed with him. Rush ran to his spot. Kareem Rush stuck on automatic from right inside the three-point arc.
Boy, if they get that kind of shooting from him the rest of the season, or even something similar, gives you one more offensive weapon for the Lakers to utilize.
Rush 1 shy of a career high. Obviously, this is rookie season. He scored 11 just a couple of games ago in the win over Pat Riley and the Miami Heat. Lakers by 2. Maurice Taylor, the big moments. Holding foul on Samaki Walker. Guys, back to the question that we saw from the Western Conference. Assuming the Lakers get into the playoffs, which most people think they will now, which of those 8 teams currently in there do you think will not make it? I know injuries could play out, but who do you think won't get there?
The teams at the bottom would be Utah and Minnesota. Now, they're playing decent ball, both of them.
That's the point.
You're going to have a good team in the West not make the playoffs, where in the East you're going to have a number of bad teams make it.
When you saw Utah last night and how they handled the struggling Seattle team, and Zerbiak back from Minnesota, giving Garnett a little bit of help offensively, you start to look at these teams and say, somebody might not lose their position because of their poor play, but there are not enough wins to go around in the Western Conference.
Lakers are coming. They're going to make the playoffs. They're playing very good basketball right now. They've got a nice schedule, nice pace to it. Shaq's getting stronger and healthier. Minnesota and Utah, those are the two teams. One of those guys is going to be out because Portland is playing terrific. Phoenix is on fire.
Without Penny Hardaway.
Right.
That's a heck of a reward for winning the West, isn't it? You got to face the Lakers in the first round. Congratulations, guys. Here you go.
Doesn't matter who you play. If you're the best, you got to beat them all anyway.
Mobley defensively on Kobe. 10 to shoot for the Lakers in this tie game. Bryant continues to be cold. 3 of 15. The Rockets nearly blew an opportunity to get a rebound, but got it. Walker defensively deterred the easy hoop for Posey.
Very suspect decision-making for the Rockets.
Posey on the take.
Where'd that shot rank on the all-time shot list of the Rockets?
Very competitive.
Devin George.
Oh, big fella's open.
Now Shaq has it with a Yao hand in his back. Right on the 3 of the 34. Spun baseline. Shaquille O'Neal now 9 of 18 from the field. 19 points, 7 rebounds.
Yao has to live with that. If you force Shaq to take that shot every single time, you have a chance. Keep him out of the middle. That's a foul there.
On O'Neal, just his second, but the Lakers are over the limit. Rockets have not committed a foul here in the fourth.
Most impressive thing about me, or about Yao Ming tonight, has been his defense.
Yeah.
He has not fouled. He has not allowed Shaq to overpower him and overwhelm him at the hoop. Obviously, the guy is sucking wind right now. 25 minutes against Shaq is like Friday afternoon in Los Angeles on the 405 freeway.
How's that? Tough?
Very nerve-wracking. You need a nap.
You see Ming's defensive presence has hurt O'Neal's numbers just slightly. Shaq's close to on pace for average. Kobe struggling from the outside. Steve Francis leads all scorers with 33, and as you saw O'Neal and Ming next to each other, Yao constantly shaking that left hand, certainly affecting him, that he hurt it in the first quarter.
Good pass.
To Devin George.
Wow.
Bad shot.
Yeah, what else do you want? Oh!
Posey could not finish on the high fly. Laker ball halfway through quarter number 4. All even at 81.
How about coming back to Shaq if you're the Lakers right now? He makes a jumper, then he doesn't touch the ball as Devin George jacks up a while.
Kobe on the hesitation. Devin a little trigger shy this time. Rush from the top. Yao went up to get that one. Rebound 7 for Ming.
Shaq not touch the ball.
Tom, that's a man's rebound by Yao Ming.
Absolutely. How is the game tied with under 6 minutes to go and Shaq doesn't touch the ball on a possession? At least let him touch the ball.
They're going away from him.
That's why he's following the ball.
Went to get it, and a foul on Maurice Taylor, who was keeping Robert Horry from cutting along the baseline.
The beauty of Robert Horry that he just never stops. He's constantly back cutting, moving to set up his other teammates. Robert Horry, a thing of beauty.
As advertised, good show from the big men and 2 good teams in Houston. All right, Kevin and Greg, what a way to start Super Bowl weekend. Jordan's last game in Chicago in all likelihood, Nets and Lakers, an NBA Friday doubleheader on our ESPN network. Sal Masakela as the Lakers trail by 2.
Well, in that last huddle, Coach Frank Hamlin said, look, we're being out-rebounded 42-32 right now. We have got to get boards here in this next 5 minutes. Also, he said too many outside shots leading to fast break points. That's been killing them all night.
Frank Hamlin, Syracuse class of 69. One of the Laker assistant coaches, along with Kurt Rambis and Jimmy Clemens, and the dean of the Triangle as well. Tex Winters, always in L.A., those home games. 8 to shoot, Shaq backs Yao. Rebound, Posey.
Cuttino Mobley and Steve Francis have 52 of the Rockets' 83 points. Someone else has to come alive, take some of the pressure off as the Laker defense will close those guys down.
Back in the hands of Ming. Has not scored this half. Rebound Fox.
That's just good defense right there. Knowing that Yao Ming wants to fade away, that's how he gets his space. Shaq following with a hand in his face.
The Lakers defense has totally eliminated Yao Ming's passing from this game.
O'Neal, beautiful baseline move on Ming.
What? How's a guy that big squeeze baseline?
Wearing Yao Ming down and out. Shaq's defense coming alive. And his offense as well.
8 points this quarter, Bill. He had 10 in the fourth against New Orleans. Nice attack as Ming finishes. That was all caused by Francis driving and drawing the defense from O'Neal.
Rockets have had a good strategy of attacking Shaq. Can it last?
Kareem Rush saw Yao fly at him, taken away, and the foul on Mobley, or Mobley was fouled, I should say, by Rick Fox. That's 4 on Fox.
Smart foul by Rick Fox to save the sure 2. Shaq's defense, Yao Ming not able to get any other looks. His teammates are not moving. They're basically just leaving him out to dry. But he's not that kind of player. He's not a one-on-one guy. And then Shaq comes right back, who has much more at this point of their respective career. Yao does have 2 assists, but what we've seen over the course of the season from him has not been on display tonight.
One more coming from Mobley. And we build up the matchup between these two guys, and understandably so, because one is the present, one is the promise for the future of big men. But we need to remind everybody, Yao Ming's been in this country 3 months. Not in this league, in this country for 3 months. Shaquille O'Neal's won 3 straight NBA Finals MVPs. Keep it in perspective as you watch the numbers tilt towards O'Neal's way tonight.
Well, Yao will learn soon enough that Americans want it now. Now! Not in a year.
He's doing fine.
O'Neal deterred by Ming. Posey has been more active defensively. Rockets looking to go up 6. Francis wants it. Takes it. Nice tip, Yao Ming. Kept it alive. Fresh shot clock. And Steve Francis, who spent this summer talking to Michael Jordan about leadership and closing games out. Cuttino Mobley. Misfired. Chance here for the Lakers. We get it within 2 or 1. And although Bryant's 3 of 15, he won't be shy down the stretch.
Good ball movement right there.
Horry to Fox. Shaq the board.
Shaq was dominant down the stretch in the New Orleans victory. Come back to Shaq here.
Fisher left free. Toe on the tape. That's 2. At the 3-minute mark, Rockets lead by 2.
It's like 2.98 right there. He bathed the pinky on the strike.
The poise of the world champions, where they're at their best, down the stretch, on the road, everything against them.
Francis by Bryant, help from Horry, bailed out to Mobley, nothing going on offensively. 2 to shoot.
2 horrendous possessions.
Fox and Francis tied up behind the play. They play on 4-on-4 on the other end. And now those 2 join the play. Bryant used a Fox bump to square the game at 87.
Confusion reigning for the Houston Rockets right now. They're all looking over at Rudy. A bunch of the players wanted a timeout. Phil Jackson sitting back, tackling on the Laker bench.
Bryant's 2nd field goal since the 2nd minute of this game. At the 2-minute mark. Ming. Over O'Neal. Yao now 4 of 13 from the field. Shaq has 10 rebounds, a double-double.
The Rockets are putting Yao Ming in an untenable position, asking him to play Shaq's game, and that's not what he does.
Kobe Bryant. Fox trying to put it back. Taylor helped from behind. Fresh shot clock for LA.
Working into the big fella right here and feed off him.
Bryant draws the D. Fox for 3. Now the rebound is 8.
They can't ask for much more. I mean, those are clean looks right there. Kobe's getting him open shots. They're just not making them.
I want overtime. I want double overtime. I want 3 overtime.
The one thing about Kobe Bryant is it doesn't matter what he shoots here in the game, he always looks like he just got finished going 9 for 9. Always going to have the confidence. He got to step up earlier right there because he is a man who forgot that he missed all those shots.
Rocket ball, 80 seconds left. All square in Houston. Hello. All tied at 87 minutes, 20 left. Lakers can stop it twice. Rockets have one timeout remaining. Houston's only committed one foul in this quarter. Thus, they have one foul to give here in the final 2 minutes. So guys, what do you think about the Rockets' offensive flow here down the last 80 seconds of regulation?
Well, it's been horrible the last couple possessions. They haven't gotten good shots. They haven't had good spacing. I think right now you get your two best players, Yao Ming and Stevie Francis, and you run a pick and roll. Give Francis the ball, let him go to his right. Yao Ming pick and pop, you get an open jump shot, and then have people spacing on the weak side.
The Rockets offense has to become more diversified than just giving it to one guy in the low box, the way they used to with Akeem and Barkley and Drexler, just letting them go. They don't have those type of players on this current roster.
Off the Posey bump, two go with Francis. Stevie trying to take it over. Oh my, threw it away. Here's Bryant in transition, trying to give the Lakers the lead. Kobe went all the way, and he was fouled.
That couldn't have been what Rudy Tomjanovich drew up out of the timeout. And with the Rockets just one full timeout left, they're in a world of hurt. The Lakers have two.
Well, you look at the defense, all converging to Steve Francis, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Horry's there, Shaq's there, and I'm not sure why you run a pick and roll with James Posey and not have Yao Ming involved in that play somehow.
Well, that's the story about the beating the Lakers. He's involved Shaq with that pick and roll away from the basket area, knowing he won't step out.
Fouled in the act. Bryant shoots two, 7 of 8 at the line tonight.
But we haven't seen how effective a screener Yao Ming is. And my guess is it's very difficult to set a screen on a little guy. And next to Yao Ming, everybody is little. Even Kobe Bryant is little.
Lakers 89, Rockets 87. Final minute of regulation.
Shot selected.
Francis all the way. Around O'Neal to square the game at 89.
Phil Jackson up, calling the offensive plays. A rarity, knowing the importance of this game.
You want to try to get this shot out for the next 10, 12 seconds. So you have the last shot of the game.
Fans on their feet. Bryant working in on Mobley. Spins and shoots. And connects.
That ball was hit on the way up. He recomposed himself. Wow.
Remember, the Rockets only have one timeout, so they keep it on the floor, keep it in the hands of Francis. Maurice Taylor, quiet offensively, trying to hand it to Ming, out of bounds, off the Rockets.
No, that's the wrong call. These other referees are walking away from it. Dick Pavetta was there. That ball was off the Lakers.
Kevin Fair was on this side. He would be the only one who could help Pavetta, and he concurs with Dick's call. Shot clock is off. Lakers by 2.
They got a foul.
Immediately.
Don't foul him. Double team him, make him give it up.
Mobley fouls Bryant in the backcourt. Kobe has scored the last half dozen points. Rudy's asking the Rockets play-by-play guy if the ball was touched or not.
Well, it's certainly been about the guards late in the game, and Steve Francis right here gets a pick from Yao Ming and gets down the middle. Shaq not rotating, and this is just unbelievable. Ball gets hit, double clutch, up and good.
Bryant continuing at the line. His impressive shooting. 10 of 11. And even though he's missed 13 shots tonight.
I don't think if you're the Rockets, you take a timeout here.
Save it.
You have to save it. You can set your play off this dead ball here.
Missed it. Now you want to take it and think about 3 to tie? Or you want to extend the game a little bit more?
You need that last timeout.
I think a good situation, take the timeout and let the team know they don't have to take a 3. You can take a 2 here and foul.
Have to do it quick. Lakers by 3. Rocket ball at half court when you come back. Where do you want to go here, boys? 18.5 to go.
Quick 2. Try to get that if you can. If it starts running down, though, in the Laker defense, which we assume will be very solid and very physical, then you got to pull the trigger. The Rockets have been good from 3 tonight. Francis 5 for 7. Mobley 2 for 3. 8 for 13. The Rockets on the team. Can't even get the ball in bounds.
Yao comes out to get it, try to set some room for Francis for three of the tie. Steve Francis continues his great show.
That was the same shot they used against Miami.
At first, Phil said no timeout. Then the timeout was taken, I believe, after the inbounds. I don't think the Lakers are going to get this at half court. Steve Francis coming through clutch in Clutch City.
Houston at Miami earlier this season runs this exact same play, the handoff. We do see that Yao Ming can set an effective screen.
Well, you can't go under in that situation. Derek Fisher's ready. And how many times have we seen that one? Right there, huh? Praise the Lord. Derek Fisher went under that screen, guys. You gotta follow on the top of that screen with a good shooter. If you go under, you run the risk of getting picked up like Fisher did.
But that's why you screen with Shaq's man, because you know Shaq is not going to come out. And in that situation, Shaq has to come out because a two doesn't hurt you. A three will kill you.
And that's why you follow him over the, you can't go under. You got to follow him. You got to be on his hip. If he catches it, you're on that hip, and at least you can affect the shot.
As we talked about, guys, with all the billing coming into this game of Yao and Shaq, although integral parts in what's happening in the half court, the games come down to Kobe and Steve Francis.
And not surprising.
No, not at all. Francis 9th in the league in scoring. Bryant 2nd behind Tracy McGrady of Orlando.
Everything favors the Lakers. They still have one timeout. Rockets have a foul to give. No more foul to give.
You see Francis one shy of his career high. 39.
The Lakers will hold for the last shot here.
And just by the way, I would keep an eye on Robert Horry in a situation like this.
He's done it in Houston. Yep. Will they do it to Houston? The Lakers did get the timeout recognized before the inbounds, so they will have the ball here in the front court. Fans on their feet at the Compaq Center. The night of big men coming down to a big finish. It's in the hands of Horry. To Kobe.
Kobe's going to shoot it here.
Watched by Mobley. Bryant drives. Over Ming. Shaq rebound. It goes in, but after the horn, we will have overtime. All square at 92. Bryant asking Dick Favetta for the call.
Are they going to look at this?
By rule, you have to, because the ball did go in the basket with 0-0, so they will take a peek, but there's no question that this is not a basket. We will have overtime. But again, the rule enacted this year, if a ball goes in with 0-0 on the clock, the officials must go to look at it.
Yao Ming coming over right there, and boy, that's a tough one right there. You're going to see Shaq getting the ball instead of letting it go right there, hitting the ground, then tries to regroup. Just a fraction too late for the bucket.
Ball in his hands with the lights on. The lights are synced via computer to the official clock in the building, and you'll see from this angle clearly the correct call.
The Rockets breaking down defensively, allowing Kobe to go away from the teeth of the defense. Overtime. What could be better?
Back in Houston, Shaq and Ming doing their thing, and the Rockets and Lakers as well. 5 more, at least. The Lakers have seen a lot of overtimes. This is game 39 for LA, and their 7th overtime game this year. LA is 4-2 in OT.
And the Sacramento Kings are saying play 5 overtime. Just keep wearing them out. But one thing that the Rockets need to do is become a smarter team. The Lakers are the smartest team in basketball. Sacramento is charging on that front. But with the breakdowns that we've seen with shot selection, offensive execution, defensive breakdowns, allowing Kobe Bryant to go away from the double team that last time, all those things are going to have to be rectified if the Rockets are going to be serious playoff contenders in the near future.
Bill, it's hard, I would imagine, against a good defensive team, which the Lakers are when Shaq's in there, when the guy who starts your offense and has the ball in his hand, Steve Francis, is your #1 scoring option.
That's why you need to get guys that help him out and more ball movement instead of the constant and incessant dribbling. Screens away from the ball, pick and rolls, cross screens, down screens, instead of just the incessant isolation.
Ming and O'Neal, as they did before, start the game, and Shaq.
They got to throw that ball
jump.
up higher. They've got to put that ball up higher.
I think they should drop it from the roof.
There you
got to
go.
have some kind of mechanism to drop it from the roof, and then you get after it.
You work on that, will you? Get back to me. Here's O'Neal coming down the lane. Ming tipped it out to Steve Francis. No player has more than 4 personal fouls, although Bryant and Fox do for the Lakers, and Cuttino Mobley for the Rockets.
Yao Ming has done a tremendous job of tipping balls to his teammates tonight on the defensive end.
Francis goes right at O'Neal and draws personal foul number 3 on Shaq.
That's his third.
Well, Kobe jumped to Steve Francis left right there. Wasn't going to let him go left. And Shaq had to step up a little bit quicker on that. He's letting Steve Francis get ahead of steam. By the time he gets ahead of steam, he's just taking it all the way in. Shaq not set, draws a foul.
Steve Francis. .39 equals the career high that he set against the Pacers at Conseco Fieldhouse on opening night of this 2002-2003 NBA season.
And I agree with you, Bill, that for the most part they need other people to step up and need other people to shoot the ball. But tonight, it's Steve Francis' night. Just get him the ball, get out of the way.
But just to handle the ball, the way that Horry and Fox and Fisher do so well on a night-in, night-out basis.
Kareem Rush in the game here to start OT with Fisher on the bench. O'Neal strong right hand, throw it all the way down.
That is a throwdown.
Goodness gracious.
Now how will Houston react? That's what we expected to see on the opening play of the ball game tonight. Wait until overtime to get that done, Shaq.
Ozzie feeds to Mo Taylor.
Everything's fading away for Houston.
O'Neal comes down with the rebound for Shaquille O'Neal. Another double-double tonight. Just his 546th double-double in 702 NBA games. 80% of the time. This time Shaq is fouled. That is the correct call. Foul on the inside.
For the first time tonight, Shaq is able to get that deep position that he gets against everybody else whenever he wants. Yao Ming,
yeesh. That'll blow your hair
not
back.
in foul trouble. When you put your arms up like that so early, you've given up. You've lost. You've got to keep them at the shoulder height for your balance, for your strength, for the next play.
Shaq spins baseline of Shaq pulling out full arsenal of moves here. 25 points for O'Neal.
So much for the questions of stamina and conditioning in Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, that's a move that people don't give Shaq enough credit for. We know about the dunks, but at 7'1", 350, to be that nimble, that's just incredible.
Lakers take a 2-point edge. Francis comes down the lane, fouled in the act of shooting by Rick Fox, 5 on Rick.
Shaq has these moves. Doesn't have to use them very often because everybody runs away from him so much. But the touch, the grace, the balance, the ballet dancer.
I want to remind everyone that SportsCenter will come up as soon as we're done. Steve Levy and Rich Eisen settling in Studio A and certainly enjoying with you this overtime. Francis, just his second miss on the night at the line and the second for this Rockets team. Houston 19 of 21 now at the line.
Did you say ballet dancer?
Absolutely.
Could you see him in a tutu?
That's what I think of when I think of Shaq.
I know, I always get those two confused, Parishnikov and O'Neal for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Bill, hold the remainder of your thoughts to yourself. It's after midnight on the East Coast, but it's still prime time out west. Lakers lead by 1, 96-95.
Come back to Shaq.
Kobe gets it with 6 to shoot. His missed free throws, the reason we're in overtime. Feed O'Neal, tough catch. Never completely in control. Ming is a double-double. 10 rebounds, he still has 8 points.
Shaq was up against the shot clock. Another nightmare possession for Rudy Tonka.
Mobley struggling free.
Think he might take a few more nightmares like that? I think he might.
Bryant elevates. Too strong. Mo Taylor comes away with the rebound.
2 minutes. 2 minutes for
Run that high pick and roll.
looking to Steve Francis for a play call here. Francis, beautiful stunner step into the lane. Almost made that. He'll shoot some more free throws.
At will. He's gotten to the middle of the court at will, and you watch the woo by you.
That's a move.
That is you
to beat the Lakers. If anyone's ever going to do it.
5 on Kobe. Wants to know where the foul was on him.
You have to have guys who can go at Shaq and Kobe. And while the rest of the guys for the Rockets have fallen down tonight, Yao Ming and Steve Francis have looked at Shaq and Kobe and said, we're coming at you. But we're not going away.
A career night here for Steve Francis. 42 points.
And one of the reasons he's so effective in getting to the lane is he started out by hitting a few three-pointers. Got hot from around the arc. Now everybody runs at you. You give them the stutter step, and you're in the lane and end up on the free throw line. But you got to make your free throws.
Francis, a 78% free throw shooter. 100 seconds, three-point game.
They're getting the ball to Shaq too late in the shot clock.
There he goes with the facial on Ming again.
Too late that long.
Oh, my.
I'm with you, Bill. I'll take a second overtime. This is special.
Now, Lakers playing zone defense right here.
Francis blows right through it, right at Shaq. Draws the foul. And it's flagrant.
No, that's horrible. What's flagrant about that?
2 shots plus the ball. And Phil Jackson is right in the ear of Monty McCutcheon, and he picked up a technical foul.
Well, why is it flagrant? Because Shaq's big and Steve Francis isn't? Let's see if he goes after the ball here. You see Francis with a great drive, getting to the middle. Shaq jumps up, goes, what's wrong with that?
That's not a flagrant foul.
That's not a flagrant foul.
First the technical. 2-point lead. You'll have 2 shots from Francis. The Rockets will get the ball back.
This is a 5-point play here.
And the Rockets retain possession of the ball.
He got that foul because he's big.
Steve Francis has showed me a lot tonight. A relentless attack of the hoop. Taking the punishment, they put him on the deck time and time again, and he just keeps coming back.
There's a difference of 155 pounds. Stevie Francis is $195 and almost 10 inches.
Well, that was just a joke. To have a team fight that hard and be in such a good... This has been a wonderful basketball game, and if it's decided this way, that's just wrong. You don't look at the guy and how he lands or how he falls down and look at the result of the play and call a flagrant foul. You look at the play itself, and Shaq clearly made an attempt at the ball.
There's 3 points. Rockets retain possession. Why it could be a 5-point possession.
They don't have the benefit of replay. They see a big guy coming over. They see a body slam. They see Steve Francis going down.
And then Phil Jackson, in his display of disgust, picked up the technical foul. Fresh shot clock, Rocket ball, 2-possession game now as we hit the final minute. Long time since this building's heard the Beat LA chant. Knocked away. Bryant does the job. You knew Steve Francis was not going to get a foul in his benefit. Horry, a 3. Shaq kept it alive. Lakers showing some heart. Take it away by Francis.
Pull it out.
It goes all the way and has it blocked by Horry.
Should have pulled that one back.
Bryant, Horry tried the facial on Yao and picked up the foul on Ming.
How about Shaq on the offensive glass?
Keeping it alive.
Whoa.
Right?
This guy, the big man, is working tonight. We need more games like this in the league.
You know what, guys? These games between these teams for the next few years are going to have this atmosphere. And because of the presence of Francis and Mobley and Bryant, they're going to have this kind of intensity. This is the seed from which a good rivalry could regrow.
I can't believe they're booing Robert Horry. The guy won him 2 championships, and he's up there. They're booing him.
You know, I'm just thinking a few months ahead to the playoffs. What kind of matchups there's going to be? Rockets, Kings, Mavericks, Spurs, Lakers. Oh my!
Robert Horry helped Rudy T put those 2 banners up, but Robert told me before the game, Rudy T was the coach who gave him confidence, and when he had the hot hand, he'd look at Hakeem and Clyde and say, get the ball to Robert, he's got the hot hand, and he's taken that confidence and bankrolled it into 5 rings, 1 for each finger on that shooting hand. Well, despite the questionable call, bad call, Houston still has not put this one away. They lead by 2 and have the ball with 33.6 to go. Producer Phil Dean, director Jimmy Moore have given you this great front row seat at the Compaq Center in Houston tonight. 33.6 left. The Lakers can stop it 3 times. The Rockets once every foul, a free throw. Gentlemen, when you look at the build-up to this game, it didn't figure to pay off. It usually never does. But the reason it's paying off is because we're seeing the seeds of the success for both of these teams. The big man does start so much of it, especially with Bryant and Francis.
Well, the beautiful thing is it started from the very beginning. The opening 5 minutes were just so dynamic with Yao Ming taking it right to Shaq, and then now Shaq is throwing it down off reverse dunks and everything. The advantage is clearly with Houston. They've got possession. They've got the 2-point lead here. They can run some time off the clock, but they can't just think maintain position. They've got to think, you get 2 points here, the game should be theirs. But one thing that's difficult for Houston here is that in trying to run a high screen and roll with Yao Ming, they have switched Robert Horry to Yao Ming in the high position, and they're putting Shaq on Maurice Taylor when they go to the weak side with Taylor.
Lakers do have 3 timeouts, so they will be able to extend this game as long as possible.
There's no reason to get up on him right now. You know he's going to want to run the clock off. Back off him. You do not want to foul this situation.
He doesn't want to give Francis a good look, though. Lakers have...
Well, he's been going by him every single time.
8 to go. Francis gets around Bryant. A Ming screen.
Good step up by Shaq.
Right. Deter the shot. Now he gets a Bryant.
Oh, take it!
Phil Jackson wanted a double dribble call. The Lakers take the timeout. Now Yao has a double-double. 10, 10, and 6. Houston Rockets will move into a new building next year, which is right next to the Astros place in Minute Maid Park. But they are going to send the Compaq Center out, the former Summit, in pretty good style this year.
They keep playing like this, they're going to need a lot bigger building than this.
For the first 53 minutes, Steve Francis was doing it, scoring. Right here, Kobe up in the air. Shaq nowhere to be found. Finds Yao Ming. He's a big target, but you got to put it on the money, and he did.
Steve Francis with one of the best individual games in the league this year by any player. 44 points, 11 assists, that 11th to Yao Ming. Steve Francis has figured in 2/3 of the Rockets' points tonight with his 44 and 11 dimes. Fabulous night.
And he's done it against great defensive players. Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, Robert Horry, Devin George, backed up by Shaq. He's just taking it wherever he's wanted to go all night long.
Sports Center will follow with Rich Eisen and Steve Levy. Remember, the Lakers have 2 timeouts. They can make it 2 and foul and still extend this game even more. So it's not over yet. They got to get one on this possession.
Well, if you can fire it right into Shaq, you got to do so.
There it is. Fouled by Ming, almost. The chance for the 3-point play.
No, they're not even going to give him the shot. They're going to call the foul on the ground.
It's 5 on Yao.
The 3-second count does not start when the ball's out of bounds.
Yep.
In that situation, Yao Ming could have almost stood in front of Shaq. Make him throw over the top. I want to see if he can throw over the top of Yao Ming that close to the basket.
Shaq's free throws through the playoffs last year and on into this year have been better, as you saw, at 60%. Of course, their numbers mean nothing when they're late in the game and they are must-haves. Made them both.
Nice.
9.5 to go, 2-point game.
If you're posing, run the baseline. You got to get on the move here.
Trying to get it to Mobley. He does, and Fox fouls. Cuttino Mobley, 17th best free throw shooter in the league at 86%. And he's made all 6 here tonight.
The conversation between Yao Ming and Shaq away from the ball. I'd like to hear what those two giants had to say.
And they are certainly able to communicate, although Yao has a translator. During timeouts, the timeouts are not translated for him. Yeah, I've had conversations with Ming. That's Colin Pine, his translator, who was actually translating documents for the U.S. government at one point and was picked out of a pool of 400 applicants. Yao can converse. I had an English conversation with him yesterday. He looked at me. He said, "Are you going to shave tomorrow?" And I came out tonight, and he said, "Nice shave." He has a good sense of humor and certainly is able to converse on the basketball court. Rick Fox is fouled out. Mobley for 2. 1 point to the language barrier. People might not know. English is the international language of basketball, the official language of FIBA, the Federation of International Basketball. So Yao has been around English.
I disagree. Eye contact is the international language of basketball.
To make it a 2-possession game. Laker timeout. Francis has 44. Mobley 27. 71 of the 106. It used to be the big fellas with those kind of point totals, whether it was Moses or Hakeem in the old Rocket days in this building.
You know, I'm not sure what Moses and Hakeem paid for those tickets, but they're getting their money's worth.
They didn't pay, Tom. I hate to tell you.
And they shouldn't have to pay for those. Because sitting right next to Rocket owner Les Alexander, they're where they belong.
And there is Calvin Murphy. He gets paid to be here and uses every dime on the diamonds and the suits. And he's got the shoes to match, folks. National TV games coming up. The TNT triple header on Martin Luther King Day. Celtics Sixers in the middle. These Lakers against the Clippers on the back end. It starts in Memphis. And then on Wednesday night, Bill and Brad Nessler and David Aldridge will be in New Orleans to watch Michael Jordan and the Wizards take on the New Orleans Hornets. Well, everybody in the East is struggling other than the Pacers, Nets, and Pistons on a regular basis, although the Wizards are pulling it together a little bit. Moments away from SportsCenter with Rich Eisen and Steve Levy.
Yao Ming has done a phenomenal job defensively tonight. Shaq has taken 26 shots and only gone to the free throw line 4 times. Normally in a typical Shaquille O'Neal game, he's going to the free throw line 10, 15 times. Yao Ming does have 5 fouls. He doesn't want to be the guy that goes into a fouling situation here where the Lakers will undoubtedly come back to the same strategy. I would not guard the ball here. I just put the guy who's guarding the ball back in Shaq's lap here and not let him make that pass right deep into the paint.
Ming on the bench. Kelvin Cato has come in. Yao's parents watch as the Brian Shaw inbounds pass will come. Right into Shaq, fouled by Cato, and that one would have been in the act. Dick Pavetta's arm went up right away.
Well, Shaq did a great job not coming down with it. Knowing that he was going to get fouled immediately, he just caught and tried to flip one up there to see if he can get lucky and get a 3-point play out of it.
Rudy going offense, defense here. We'll bring Ming in after the whistle after O'Neal's free throw.
Number 11, Yao Ming.
Let's get him in here now. For O'Neal, 47 minutes here this evening. Hit these 3 pressure free throws in overtime. Keep the Lakers in touch.
Is that Rick Barry out there at the line? Magical. 3 out of 3.
Shaq has become an outstanding free throw shooter.
Excuse me? Improved.
Shaq has become an outstanding free throw shooter.
No.
I'm old enough to remember.
It's like 80%.
He just made 4 straight.
Outstanding is 80% above.
Good job by the Rockets. They get it to an 80 and above shooter, Cuttino Mobley. Trying to keep it a 2-possession game with 7.3 to go, and LA down to its final timeout.
Yeah, I don't know if you get a chance to look at if Yao Ming will stay in the lineup and stand next to Shaq on this free throw. He's the only guy in the league makes Shaq look like a big off guard. It is amazing. I was just looking like
Sabonis too.
Yeah, Sabonis is 7'6". I mean,
no, but Sabonis is very big.
I wish these guys would both stand up. I know you're tired. There you go. Thank you, fellas.
Mobley, 9 of 9 tonight. The Rockets 90% from the line, 27 of 30. Again, we remind you, a very young team, no starter over 27. Their veteran is Glenn Rice, and he's on the injured list. So great lessons learned, and could be in a winning vein in Houston this evening.
Now you got to shoot a 3. It's enough for going 2 for 2 now. Time's running out.
Rudy was talking yesterday about, he was like a kid on Christmas morning. I know that's a cliche, but he talked, there are so many national media, he was talking to everybody. I said, okay, Rudy, thanks for your time, I appreciate it. So they talk about Michigan basketball, but I couldn't get rid of him. He is enjoying the big games and this team. He talks about his love of seeing a team come together. This team has certainly done that and re-energized the 54-year-old coach.
There you go. Kelvin Cato finally got in front of him.
He deflected it from O'Neal. It goes out of bounds off Cato, but
that's Laker ball.
Took some time. 4.6 to go.
Yeah, how about a zone defense that doesn't guard the ball? Who cares?
Well, if you're the Lakers now, you got to get a 3. I mean, you don't have enough time to get 2 points for 2 points.
Yeah, an immediate 3 at that. They go into Shaq, kept it back to Shaw. Bryant the 3. No good, and the Rockets will do it. A huge win for the Houston Rockets in the first meeting between Yao Ming and Shaquille O'Neal.